Welcome to the Spiritual and Physical Health Challenge Hangout. I'm your host, Kimberly Payne, and my guest this week is Julianne Brace. Welcome, Julianne.
Thank you.
So let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I guess a woman never tells her age, but I will anyhow. I'm 64 and I've been a teacher for over 30 years. And for as long as I can remember, I've weighed 230 pounds. and and that just seemed to be where I stayed, and I wasn't comfortable with it, but it just seemed to be where I stayed for decades and decades.
Right, wow. So how much weight did you lose, and what kind of period did you lose it over, and how long have you kept it off?
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Sure, yeah. I was just wondering, how much weight did you lose?
Yes, I've lost 44 pounds,
Wow, wow.
and it took me about 5 months, and I've kept it off for another 9 months after that.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the tipping point to make you change your habits? What was it that made you change?
Well, my doctor told me I was borderline diabetic. And what he said was, and I'm not putting you on anything, you are going to change your lifestyle.
Oh, I like
So
this
I
doctor.
said, okay, send me someplace. And so he sent me to Dr. Poon's weight loss clinic. It's in Brampton. And you weigh in, and it's a weigh scale where you get on with your bare feet. So it reads all your body statistics. And they give you a plan, and you stick to it, and you weigh in once every week or once every 2 weeks. And that's a really good accountability factor. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're going to go back every 2 weeks and have to weigh in. Now, this plan, I've done Weight Watchers and I lost 40 pounds and I was thrilled, but in no time I'd put it back on again. I was raising kids, teaching school. I just didn't have the wherewithal to stick to it. But this time I went in and I was pumped. And I told them that from the start, and they were thrilled. And this diet was basically no carbs, no sugar. And for some reason, that really suits me. I like the fact that I can still have meat and vegetables. And so cutting out bread, and I'll get into, a little bit of that later, but cutting out bread, fries, potatoes, chips, all of that kind of stuff suited me to a T. I was
Oh,
ready for it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also attached to this weight loss clinic, which was covered by OHIP, was a gym in which you were under the full care of a chiropractor and you had a personal trainer who geared things to you. I've always had lower back issues, not big at this time, but still you have to watch.
Sure,
And
yeah.
it suited me wonderfully. I
Mm,
went in there at the beginning. I was 2 times a week, but I couldn't afford it. I was 1 time a week, and then weighing in as well.
right.
And the mentoring and the nurturing from every angle was wonderful.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds great. So what would a typical day look like for you for what you would eat?
Well, I get up and I have a little bit of cereal. I know there can be carbs in that, but I pick the ones that have the highest fiber, the lowest carbs. I read everything I buy these days now and
So
look
which
for the
ones
carbs
do
and the
you
sugar.
actually eat?
Yeah, but I have a cereal so that I have the fiber, and I'm looking after my nutrition and my functioning with almond milk and berries. That's my start for the day, and a cup of tea.
So
But then
uh,
I make a protein smoothie.
what
You okay?
what
Should I
actually what which cereal do you eat?
like an brand, the brand, all brand.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just those, just plain. I don't
Yeah.
get ones that have raisins or dried fruit or any of those because that puts your sugar way up. And all I want, the only fruit that I have is berries
Mm, wow.
because any other fruit is way too high in sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I make myself a protein smoothie to go to lunch. I do 2 hours of lunchroom duty at a public school, and I can walk around drinking my smoothie. And I use almond milk and protein powder and berries, and I can also put in nuts and seeds, and I can even put in kale.
Yeah.
And when you do it in a magic bullet, it just all disappears, and it just makes like a blueberry milkshake.
That's funny you say that.
And
Today,
it suits me to,
yeah, my sister-in-law said that she showed me the smoothie she makes, and she starts with kale.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing what you can put kale in and you don't even know it's there. And that's what my doctor told me that I should be having those, is it cruciferous? Is that the word?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
the green crispy stuff.
yeah.
And so you get it all in a smoothie and you're just drinking like a milkshake. It suits it. It
Hmm.
was wonderful. Then when I come home in sort of late afternoon, I have a big salad, just loaded, and not just the plain lettuce, but I make sure that I have spinach or romaine lettuce, and even again throw a bit more kale and little bits of everything. I put my seeds and my nuts in everything,
Oh,
the
yeah.
little ones.
Now,
And then
what kind of seeds? What kind of nuts?
nuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pine nuts, little bit of slivered almonds. I just make up a mixture of the fine ones so that they go nicely in a salad and you don't even hardly know they're there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And throw in, I haven't gone completely dairy free. I get low fat cheese and put in a couple little chunks in my salad because I really enjoy that. And often, if I have some fish or chicken left over from the night before, I'll throw a few little pieces of that in my salad too.
Mhm.
Then later, like I usually tutor in the afternoon, and then when I come home, like 6:37, I'll have a little piece of some kind of meat, any kind. Like, and I work red meat in a couple of times a week as well, and
Mhm.
chicken and fish. And the vegetable that I've come to love is green string beans and mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
And those are my two favorites. They go, and you can keep them and just sort of, I do them in, the first time I do them in olive oil and fry them. But then the next night, I just put them in my little broiler oven, my little um, toaster
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
broiling pan and warm them up that way. And they're a bit
Interesting.
crispy and delicious. I try to avoid always frying or doing anything in oil. I start something, but then I try and do other ways later on.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And do you have any snacks at night or during the day?
Say your question.
Do you have any snacks?
Snacks? Well, do you know what? Now that I've got the weight off, I've started to examine the contents of some of the good healthy type of chips that you can find in some places. As long as they're as low carbs as you can possibly get and
Hmm.
as high and higher fiber and basically no sugar and low fat too. Um, I can have a few of those and they don't change my weight at all. And so that's been nice to be able to just do a little bit of crunchy munchy, you
Yeah.
know, and not put any weight on.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, what does a typical day of exercise look like for you?
Well, once a week, I go with my weight trainer for an hour. So I start out with 15 minutes of running on the treadmill, and that's a brand new accomplishment for me. It thrills me. And then she puts me through a good solid half hour routine of some cardio and some stretching and some muscle strengthening. She has a whole variety and it changes all the time. It's wonderful to have someone like that who can just keep feeding you a variety of exercises all the time, stretches and weight balls and some weights and pulls and just everything. And then I end with 15 minutes of TENS machine on my back so that my physiotherapist activity is being monitored, and
Right.
I'm being kept healthy that way. Then in between times, now don't forget, I walk for 2 hours every day at lunchtime at school. Now it's not full out, you know, wonderful cardio exercise, but I'm on my feet circulating and walking for 2 hours without stopping.
Mm-hmm,
So that's a
mm-hmm.
wonderful sort of premise for my whole day. And then 2 times a week, I try and go and swim lengths for an hour at a local pool
Oh, nice.
late at night after I finish my tutoring.
Wow, that sounds like a very doable routine, something that you enjoy to do.
Absolutely. And it's not over the top hard, where you're feeling like gritting your teeth. Like it's something that's keeping the momentum and keeping the level the same all the time.
So, what differences have you seen in your life from this weight loss?
Okay, can you repeat? Sorry, I didn't hear.
What differences have you felt in your life with this
Yeah,
weight loss?
yeah. I would say the biggest difference is confidence. Now I'm an outspoken, I'm a well-spoken person. I'm a teacher, been teaching for over 30 years, so I do have a confidence. But I didn't realize that I was always feeling second best because of my weight. No
Hmm,
matter nobody made me feel that way. I was feeling that way. That I just wasn't the same as everybody else
right,
you
right.
know and now that feeling is gone. I feel the same as everybody else, and that just is thrilling, absolutely thrilling. When I walk into a grade 7 and 8 class that I'm supplying in, I feel totally okay standing in front of them because I look like everybody else.
Wow,
And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's absolutely amazing. And of course, I lost 8 sizes in clothes, so I've had to buy a whole new wardrobe.
So all
And
brand
God,
new,
like
nice
I've been
clothes.
doing real bargain shopping, just taking my time and going where the prices are right. And I've got a really extensive, nice wardrobe now.
Hmm.
Makes me feel very proud of myself.
So you have an accountability partner with your personal trainer.
Well, I think going to the doctor every 2 weeks certainly counts as that. And even like the whole clinic was a very family feeling type of situation, so that the physiotherapist, the junior physiotherapists under him, all the weight trainers, you get to know them all, and they're all cheering you on amazingly. Like the day that I finally said, I've reached 40 pounds, well, the hoots and the hollers just went up everywhere,
Yeah.
you know. And so that in itself is wonderful accountability. Then I have a girlfriend who's been losing at the same time. We're all reaching that age where diabetes can be an issue,
Hmm.
and we don't want that you know and so it's been kind of neat. I just went up and spent 10 days with her, and the two of us went all over helping each other buy clothes now that we're new sizes, back to where we used to be 40 years ago when we knew each other back then.
Oh, isn't
And
that
so those
wonderful?
kind of situations are beautiful, where two people are doing the same thing and
Hmm.
encouraging each other.
That's a very nice support to have.
Yeah,
So, what free tips would you offer to other women who are trying to lose weight?
I think the first thing is get pumped. Make up your mind that this is a fantastic thing to do,
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Okay.
get pumped and stay pumped. Like, it doesn't matter, if the scale says you've gone up 3 pounds, that's nothing in the big scale of things. You'll take it off the next week, and just stay pumped, stay pleased with yourself, stay thrilled that you are doing this. And I think that's probably the biggest one. And I would say, do it like, I mean, Weight Watchers to me back, when I did that 30 years ago, was a wonderful accountability thing. You were with other women the same every week. You were talking with each other. They were giving you pep talks. For me, being at Dr. Poon's clinic this time and being with all of the workout teams and everything, go somewhere. Don't just try and do it on your own. Go
Right.
somewhere where you're going to be with people all the time who are in the same frame of mind. Many times, people who were there when I was first starting, people who were almost finished and had done wonderfully, encouraged me no end. It was
Mm.
good to see them still exercising and doing it, and they were also encouraging those of us who were just starting that
Yeah.
it was going to happen. And so I think those are important. And another thing I learned from Weight Watchers years ago was reward yourself.
Mm, mhm, mhm. Yeah.
One idea that I think is really neat, um, every time you get over a hurdle, put a toonie in a box. And when you've got 15 toonies, go out and buy yourself that new dress. Even if
Ah,
you're not finished, buy
yeah.
yourself something at that stage,
That's a
that's just
that's a
going to
great
make you
tip.
feel special.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that was something that we did regularly. That at when I was at Weight Watchers years ago, we would encourage each other and we'd share. Maybe it was just having a long bath and reading a book with candles and a glass of wine. Do things to reward yourself at every single stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to
Well,
anything that you'd
just
like to
that
share?
it feels wonderful to know that I'm caring for myself. I'm
Mm,
64. I don't want to age badly. I want to be as healthy as I possibly can and be able to enjoy life. And
yes.
so I can't say enough. I'm still pumped and I want to stay this way forever. I want to
Uh-huh.
hang on to this for the rest of my life.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Julianne, for coming on board here and talking to other women and inspiring us.
Yes.
This
And I can't wait
hangout,
to join your challenge.
yeah, yeah, we're looking forward to it. The
Yeah.
countdown is on.
Yeah. Thanks,
This
Kim.
hangout has been brought to you by the 60-day spiritual and physical health challenge. So if you want to learn more about this, then visit my website at www.kimberlypayne.com and you can learn about when the next challenge begins. Thanks again, Julianne.
Thanks, Kimberly.